Hello and welcome to Easy HTML5 Game Development with Construct 2. I'm Richard Sneed, founder and CEO of WYSIWYG Games, and I'll be your instructor. So who's this course really for? Well, the course has been designed from the outset to cater to the needs specifically of beginners to game development, of artists and designers who want to be able to create their own simple 2D games without needing the assistance of a programmer, for students learning the principles of game design, for hobbyists for the same reasons, and for professionals perhaps who are looking for a faster way to make HTML5 games or to create prototypes for gameplay or for HTML5 games. So what will you learn on this course? Well, you'll learn the ins and outs of the Construct 2 interface, including how to navigate it and how to access and work with the various and the most important areas of that interface. You'll learn to work with events and actions in the event sheets, which are part of the logic building structure within Construct 2. And so you'll learn to create game logic without having to write any code. Again, we must emphasize that. You'll be able to import, configure, and work with multiple animations for sprites. So you can have various animations for various states. You'll know how to switch between those using events and actions as well. And as a higher concept, you'll learn how to create gameplay, how to introduce game mechanics and game rules into your game using, again, the logic system, the event sheets within Construct 2. You'll be able to work with sound effects, music, animated backgrounds, parallax effects. You'll understand what the layers are for in Construct 2 and how to use those, switching between and loading levels. So in essence, you're going to learn all of the basic building blocks of creating games within Construct 2. So you'll be able to make your own prototypes and your own full-blown games, which you can then publish. So you'll be able to develop your own 2D HTML5 games without having to write any text-based code. And that's the real power of what this course is teaching with Construct 2. I assume that you've probably looked up HTML5 if you're looking at this course now, but if you haven't, HTML5 is the latest iteration of the HTML standard, which is hypertext markup language. The last one was 4 and now we're at 5, HTML5. And what it refers to basically is three key technologies. You have HTML itself, which is just markup language for the web. Then you have CSS, which is cascading style sheets, and you have JavaScript. So HTML handles the content, CSS handles style, and JavaScript is what makes it all interactive. JavaScript is a programming language. So a lot of people are using HTML5 now as a modern standard for game development and app development. But what this course will enable you to do is to create those games in HTML5 without actually having to understand HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. You don't need to know those technologies. You can just use the visual system that we're teaching here to create games which are just as impressive and as powerful. So by the end of the course, you'll have created your very own run and shoot style platformer game, which will look something like this, which is pretty cool. It will be complete with all of these features: animated player character, keyboard and mouse input controls, scrolling parallax backgrounds, animated NPCs with behaviors, so they'll shoot at us and that kind of thing. Gameplay and game mechanics, game rules, and which can be used to measure success and failure within the game. That's a core aspect of all games. Having covered the basics, let's jump right in. Let's get started with this course. It's time to start building your own games.